I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Ben.
Let's talk about an Elseworlds story. That's right. This story takes place in the year 1889.
Okay.
It is the first official Elseworlds story that DC ever did before they had the Elseworlds title at all.
Oh, really?
Batman Gotham by Gaslight. This story...
I've heard of this.
Yeah. This is, for everyone, like, synonymous with Elseworlds, mostly because it helped spawn the whole imprint itself.
Okay.
This is a story written by Brian Augustine with art by Hellboy creator Mike Mignola.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And, yeah, because back in the day, this was created in 1991. Back in the day, Mignola was just a hired gun. He just drew shit. I mean, we even did an episode, Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom, Triumph and Torment, in which Mignola was just the artist, which probably was just, well, by the way, phenomenal art. Everybody loves it. Mm-hmm. Very evocative of the Hellboy style that eventually come out.
I was going to say, like, judging by this back cover, it kind of reminds me of that a little
It
bit.
should, yeah. Well, that's just his style. Thankfully,
It seems like an appropriate style for this book.
Agreed. Yes, and so the story here is it's the story of Jack the Ripper. Remember when
Batman.
But with Batman. Well, remember when Jack the Ripper, not remember because
Remember that's when Batman defeated
Yes,
Jack the Ripper?
no, it was more
Of
like
course, none of us remember that.
yeah, because you're a time traveling, horror murdering lunatic.
Well, I was in space for that year.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm like, what? Oh yeah,
Fuck
in
are you
our own
talking about,
continuity.
man?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
right.
right.
That's
That's an Elseworld story in and of itself. That's a different reality that we don't make our back issues viewers watch, forgivably enough. If you want to find it,
highly suggest that you check
that you
it out.
check
yeah.
out the link above Ben's head there. Remember when Jack the Ripper killed all those whores and then disappeared, never got caught and everything?
Right, yeah.
Right.
This story presupposes the idea that he then leaves for America.
Oh, good. Not that Batman goes to London to catch him.
No, I was really... Forever, I actually avoided Batman Gotham by Gaslight, mostly because I'm like,
I don't want to see
I
Batman
don't,
in England.
I don't want to see Batman in England, and I don't care about that idea.
Right.
I was like, I rejected that concept out of hand.
Really?
Like a rube.
That was dumb.
Yeah, right. I know it was.
Those concepts are really fun.
These are really cool ideas.
Yeah.
Now, for me, when I grew up as a comic book reader, Elseworld stories, I'm like, disposable, forgettable nonsense tales
Yep.
that are just literally they're there to keep good writers from quitting. You want to do a story where Superman's Batman? Fucking knock yourself out.
Yeah, whatever.
It's
Fine.
not going
As
to
long
Put
as
it
you
over here.
As long as you keep writing the stories I want to read,
Right.
I'll forgive it. But I won't read it or buy it. That was me.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't.
that was you.
It doesn't even
Yeah,
count.
that was me. Yeah, it doesn't count.
Oh, I thought you were
It
talking
didn't
about
happen?
from the publisher's idea.
Oh no, the publishers. The publishers were like, "Will they buy it?" Done. That's all they had to do.
Yeah.
They're like, "What you mean?" And then this is just called A Tale of the Batman.
Okay.
Here's a Batman story that could never happen.
Right.
And you're like, oh, cool.
Now, do you know any particular trivia about where this came from? Because this wasn't. They hadn't done.
They'd never done anything
these
like
crazy
this.
Mixed universe.
I mean,
they had done.
It had come from their origins. When Batman first started in the 30s and into the 40s and up until the 60s, Batman did all kinds of stupid bullshit that were considered imaginary stories.
Right.
Like, he went to space and he
Yeah.
fell in love with aliens and
Right.
banged them. There were imaginary stories where Batman and Batwoman settled down and had Batman 2 and Robin 2 and made them wear costumes that looked like the Batman costume, only there were goddamn Roman numeral 2s underneath them so that you didn't get them confused.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck? Also, Batwoman and Batgirl, but not that Batgirl, the original Batgirl, they paired off. Just a bunch of bullshit.
Right.
There's stories where Batman fought ghosts. And you could just consider those to be imaginary stories, or Batman fought fucking ghosts for a spell. And I don't mean
They're from another dimension or whatever.
No, they're ghosts! There's a story...
Our ghosts.
No, there's a story in which Batman deals with ghosts.
Like fucking Scooby-Doo.
Specific ghosts,
No,
ghost
Scooby-Doo are...
They're fake, at
those
least,
have
yeah.
Rational explanation.
Batman has dealt with those ghosts. Those are charlatans. No, I mean Batman dealt with these weird Victorian lovers who are cheating death. And then at the end, they try to run away from Batman and they rot and wither away as they run and then fall into their own open graves. And then Batman writes the date that they died in his own blood in a kind of macabre like homage to them, and I believe that was 1969 when that happened. But like these are the stories of Batman. Batman was not. Everyone's like, Batman, you're violating the sanctity of Batman. This is a man who fought crime alone, never shot a gun. You know, like, no, Batman's done everything. He's had superpowers and he shoot rainbows out of his dick. Like, there's all kinds of bullshit.
That was my
which
favorite
issue
period of
was
Batman.
that in?
Oh, that was yeah, I don't think they've worked on that one yet. That's my new pitch for Elseworlds.
Yeah.
For Young Animal, I guess, or whatever.
Well, even
But,
in continuity now, he's been shot by like fucking
Time bullets.
and
Or
travel-
Omega sanctions,
Yeah,
I'm
the
sorry.
Omega sanction and
Yeah.
travel too.
Cap was shot by time bullets.
But yeah, like just ridiculous shit. So
Yeah,
you
I mean,
know.
fucking Grant Morrison's run alone is enough for, because not only was it also like off the wall batshit crazy, but it was also him homaging the off the wall batshit crazy shit that happened 60 years ago. Here's a story. If they fucking don't read it, they can kiss my dick. I don't care, whatever, and then just move on. Because it was only like 53 pages or 48 pages or something. Because back then, when they wanted to try something, they were like, here.
Yeah, have an issue.
Yeah, here's the thing. They didn't, like, go into the goddamn world and go, like, well, before we get into Batman in 1889, we gotta do a whole thing about, like, how Harvey Dent became a chart. Like, no. And what's frustrating about that, in and of itself, like, these are, like, forgivably short things. We did Superman speeding bullets. Again, like, it's a flash in the pan. Because who cares? Because if you pull the thread, the whole goddamn sweater comes apart. Like,
Right.
No, Batman Gotham by Gaslight is a cool idea. Brian Augustine, like, just, hey, what if it was this? And since we're only going to be given, like, 50 pages,
Right.
let's make it Jack the Ripper, and we'll just do a cool story. And it'll be really short, it'll be all tied together. And it'll have a beginning, middle, and end, and we'll set things up here, and then we'll end them here, and it all pays off. The end.
Yeah.
But
It's
if
the only
you-
time you get like an ending.
Yeah, but if you
with
want
these
to,
kind of books.
but if you want to buy this damn thing, I mean, like, this one was put out when DC changed their label or their logo for the second to last time, and they lumped it in with the sequel to this story, which is fine, but not as iconic and awesome as the first one, but still not terrible.
Okay, how far apart were they?
A couple of years. No, they had to wait for, like, the word of mouth, which, by the way, was considerable and positive.
Okay.
Everybody likes Gotham by Gaslight, to the point where DC's next animated film is Gotham by Gaslight.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's a good
Which
idea.
is cool and a great idea and perfect for the animated format. It's only 50 pages.
Yeah.
You can squeeze 90 minutes
actually do-
or
yeah.
70 minutes out of that and make it work.
Yeah.
Well, you
And you
could
don't
show
have to pad it.
everything, and you could even, like, maybe add some...
No!
No, let's
Because-
not give them ideas.
Because they did that with Killing Joke, and it's 20 extra minutes of horseshit. This story opens up with Batman in Freud's office, and the idea is that...
yeah, why not?
Fuck it.
He's encountering
He's
coincidental
fake.
characters from history.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So the idea is that Batman is going across Europe, learning and becoming Batman. You know, he's getting his skills together.
Did they go into like his parents were killed by,
By Jack the Ripper.
or just like they do the whole fucking thing?
That's how it opens.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
I'm watching two
it's-
revolvers, and I'm like, he doesn't... Oh, that's not Batman.
Oh, it's literally the opening of the story is Batman recounting a dream to Freud, but the dream is just
What happened?
what happened.
Oh, yeah.
And what happened was Bruce is in a stagecoach with his parents, and then they get stopped by a vagrant who shoots them. And
Right.
then,
yeah. It's
and-
just it's the story.
But
what
it's a
happened
little
with parents.
cooler because this jackass kills the Waynes, and then he's gonna kill Bruce, but the shots disturb some bats, and the bats like fly into his face.
Oh wow.
And then the dream is over, and we don't get into how Bruce gets away.
Well, that's
But
just
whatever.
efficient storytelling right there because they merged like his like vendetta against crime
And
with
bats.
the Bat
With the
thing
bats.
into
Boom.
one story.
Into one story, only 2 pages.
Yep.
And the bats are only in 3 panels, so
Right.
boom, done. Yeah, Augustine gets it. And it might be why Elseworlds was successful and why it kept going and why they tried like everything. Because they were like, oh shit, this is lightning in a bottle. You nailed it. You figured out how to like break down his origins, tell a concise story, and create a wholly different universe.
Now stop, because we can't have that every issue.
Yeah.
We need to sell books here.
Right. Well, no, I mean, it's just the thing about this was it wasn't like, oh, we're going to do Gotham by Gaslight. It's only a 10-issue miniseries. No, it was just one book. It came out, and you just bought it, and you got the whole thing.
Yeah, they could have stretched it out if they
Yeah.
really wanted to.
And
No, they
probably-
could stretch that out, but they're saying, like, all right, you did that once, but, like, for our regular issues, we need to sell a lot of those.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, well-
you can't replicate the formula for
No.
continuity because it doesn't.
It doesn't hold water.
Yeah.
So yeah, Batman's in Freud's office and he's talking to Freud. And Freud's like, "Oh, it's a very interesting story." And he's like, "It's not a story. Like, it's not a dream that actually happened to me. And it's just the same dream that I have had since I was 8 years old."
I have
Freud's
PTSD.
yeah, and
We don't know what
Freud's
that
like,
is yet, but-
"Oh,
It's a very bizarre psychosis you have, thinking this actually happened to you.
yeah." I really like Freud though. He's like, "I really like the bats metaphor. That's really solid. We should talk about the bats." And he's like, "I don't want to talk about the bats."
Yeah,
And
less said about the bats than
so Freud's like, "Anyway, it was great having you. You were a great student." And Wayne's like, "Yeah, and I gotta go." So Wayne's like wrapping up. Basically, and by the way, short. We just get this little image of them talking, but a lot of subtext is within it, where Batman's kind of like, maybe that that Bruce is like, "Okay, Sigmund, I'm leaving." And he's like, "Oh, come on, let me do one more. Like one more psycho. Let me analyze you. Tell me your dream, and I'll fuck with you." And Bruce is like, "Okay, here it is." And then he's like, "Okay, well that was fun. I'm gonna go."
Right.
And then he leaves.
So this is a social. He's not going to.
He's not. He's not visiting. No, he studied under.
Oh, it's interesting. Like Batman's actually going to get psychological help.
Yeah,
he
no.
recognizes that he has a problem.
Oh no!
Oh no!
But by the way,
No, to be a detective.
this Batman is actually this Batman's kind of more well-adjusted than most Batmans.
Okay.
Because this Batman recognizes this Batman recognizes that he is ruined, but he's just like, bye. So then he gets on this big ship.
Called the Titanic?
No, thank God.
Kind of looks
That's
like
19.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
around the war, like right, 1918.
I think it was 1920. But like, yeah, it was around the war.
I thought it was like 1908 or...
I think it was 1908. I think it was before the war. So.
If you haven't tell, none of us are historians on this couch. So
I would know roughly one thing.
yeah, I got what's like Titanic, 1889, close.
Yeah.
Like within our
ballpark,
lifetime, if we
yeah.
were to be in that time, but still no.
I mean, here's the thing. He would survive because he would be on one of those lifeboats.
Oh yeah, oh no, he would have figured out. He would have. That's
It
another
would've
Elseworlds.
It
Batman
would
on
have
the
just been
Titanic.
moneyed. He was
Yeah.
like, no, I'm Bruce Wayne.
I'm
Yeah.
rich, I
no,
get to go to the
oh,
boat.
here's your own lifeboat. Here's your lifeboat. It's strapped together using men from steerage, women and children that we've pulled up from steerage. They'll be quite buoyant for your voyage home. So while Bruce is walking around, Bruce bumps into his uncle, Jacob Packer, also known as Uncle Jake. And this is not the first time that Bruce Wayne's had an uncle.
Okay.
Because the first time, I'm like, an uncle, boo. But
That's not for Batman.
yeah, but
You
no.
can't have anybody.
But it is. In 1960, whatever, they invented Uncle Phil. Yeah, that's right. Batman had an Uncle Phil.
Yay!
From West Philadelphia. No, but from Bel Air, that's right. But but Philip, who was originally Philip Wayne, and then when Scott Snyder brought him into Zero Year, he was Philip Kane, because Bob Kane created Batman along with Bill Finger, but we didn't want to make a Bill Finger reference, so like they retconned him in that way and then killed him like very quickly into Zero Year because Batman can't have any relatives because he has to.
He has to be
driven.
alone. He might have a like sliver of like joy.
Yeah, well, like
and connection.
it would
to the
be
human
weird
race.
if he was like, I gotta go fight criminals to avenge my dead parents and also spend Thanksgiving with my uncle. Like it's
That would just be kind of nice for him.
it would be, but he has Alfred. He's already
Yeah. Alfred has to cook for him.
he's already a
and
dick
then
to
eat
Alfred.
in the kitchen.
Alfred
while
is a
Bruce eats at the grand table all alone,
or
sobbing
doesn't
over
eat.
his meal.
Alfred seemingly I've seen Alfred make 1,000 meals for Bruce Wayne. I've never seen Bruce eat one of them, except in Batman Returns when he eats
Vichy
Vichy
Soir.
Soir,
Yeah.
which was cold.
It's Vichy Soir, sir. It's supposed to be cold.
I like that he eats it anyway. He's like, okay. Well, all right.
Oh,
Sorry,
well,
Alfred.
if it's supposed to be. Then.
Right, okay, well, because he eats it immediately. It's supposed to be. Oh, cool, thanks, Alfred.
The other, of course, the mirror flip side of that is, it's cold. Well, you're 4 hours late.
Yeah, exactly. Of course it's cold. We live in a giant drafty house. It's the middle of Christmas, and it's 4 in the morning.
You know, I made this
home.
At 8 o'clock. Master Wayne, you're just that Batman.
Phone call would have been nice.
Why are you Batman? So anyway, he runs into Uncle Jake, and Uncle Jake is like, "Hey!" And Uncle Jake
You're
is fun.
on this boat too!
Yeah, who'd have thought that? Man, we should hang out. And it's fun because Bruce Wayne it's a carryover from like the usual thought bubbles replacement for Batman, where it's always like written in his journal in the present tense, where he's like, Uncle Jake. I always liked Uncle Jake. He was always really kind to me, and he he didn't come from money, but he was part of the social circle of the Waynes, so he was invited and included, but he didn't like being a member of the social order, and so he liked kind of like sticking it to them.
Kind of like an aristocratic black sheep.
Yes, and so he would make crass remarks and jokes, and to Bruce's amusement / embarrassment.
Okay.
But he gets invited to go to the captain's table for dinner, and Uncle Jake gets to go, and Uncle Jake like gives everybody a hard time. And is making fun of all the rich socialites. Right. And he's like, not like
all their pomp and
He's like, you and I know what's going on.
I like that he's making fun of the rich socialites while dressed in like a black tuxedo and a top hat.
I know,
but at the same time, like gloves. That's everybody back in the late 1800s.
Everybody wore that then, I assume. And
like
naturally,
urchins on the streets
maybe
still had
it's
a top hat.
Maybe it's a little bit dirty. You can't really tell. It's kind of minimalist. So
exactly.
Like it could be threadbare.
Yeah. Bruce arrives home in Gotham and. He's like, anyway, I'll see you later. Like, I live in this city too, so we'll bump into each other. And Alfred comes and picks him up. And Alfred's like,
people start dying.
Yeah. So Alfred is picking up Bruce, and Alfred's like, hey, and he's really excited to see Bruce. And Bruce is like, I hope you had a good time in Europe. I hope you met some nice people. And he's like, I did, Alfred. I met a lot of nice people, and I learned a lot of great things, and I had a great time. And I was like, oh, good. And maybe you've given up on wanting to be Batman. He's like, no, I've not given up on wanting to be Batman. He's like, is it ready? Is it there, Alfred? And Alfred's like, I'd hoped that like 5 years in Europe, meeting different people and learning different things might have cured you of your desire to dress like a bat and avenge crime. And he's like, nope. And he's like, okay, well, it's in the study. And here in the study is his bat costume just hanging there waiting for him.
He's like, I apologize. The measurements are from 5 years ago, so I might have to readjust.
He might have bulked up. So then Bruce...
yeah, in the tummy. All those European meals.
I guess.
Especially if it was in England.
I don't know. The food in England is pretty bad.
If it was
pretty bad, but like very fattening.
I mean,
but you don't want to eat it, so
yeah. I was in England.
French
for
are known for all the butter and everything.
I was in England for a month. I lost about 15 pounds. I think it was also during Mad Cow though. So I couldn't eat a damn thing. It was potatoes, and I'm like. Kind of potatoed out. How about fish and chips then? And I'm like sold, fine. I guess.
There's still potatoes though.
Yeah. If you want them. I'm like, God damn it.
Damn it.
So Bruce pays a visit to a young Inspector Gordon.
Oh, it's not Teddy Roosevelt?
It looks just like him.
I just saw him like, Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt, what?
No, he's not.
It's Inspector Gordon, Commissioner Gordon, and he's modeled after Teddy Roosevelt, I guess. It's really weird. But it's great. Inspector Gordon is rising through the ranks. There's another commissioner, and he's a real dick. And he's very, like... He cuts corners, and he just wants to, like, make a name for himself. Mm-hmm. What's great is, we don't watch Inspector Gordon become Commissioner Gordon. Mm-hmm. We don't, like...
We just know that's
going to happen because this is Gordon.
Right.
Yeah, this is early on. We don't need to get into it.
No, it takes it doesn't like hold our hand and cross the street for us. It's like, here he is, moving on. You get it.
It doesn't also then expand upon that other commissioner, right?
No, Commissioner Loeb from year one.
Well, not Loeb. I just mean like
whoever it is.
We're not talking about...
The new commissioner has a role to play, but it's not.
Yeah, they wouldn't mention
he's not there just to lose his job.
Okay.
But it's great because Bruce and Gordon are like friends.
Oh.
We don't really establish the Batman-Gordon relationship. We do later, but it's not like they're friends. Bruce and Gordon are friends.
Okay.
And Gordon pretty much figures out he's Batman immediately. Batman hasn't started yet, but when he does, he's like, you're Batman. He doesn't even say that, though, because the story doesn't blow smoke up our ass. But Gordon's like, okay, so welcome back to Gotham. It's great. Can you? And it's funny because when Batman arrives, he remarks that only in 5 years Gotham's gotten twice as big. Okay. It's amazing how fast these cities are growing.
The industrial age is happening.
Exactly, and it's kind of scary how fast the city grew. Mm-hmm. And Gordon makes the same observation. He's like, in only 10 years, the city's tripled in size. And he's like, that's good. And he's like, it's also tripled in pains in the ass.
He's also tripled in crime.
Yes. And he's like, and the crime has gotten not only more rampant, but it's gotten weirder. And this is cool because it doesn't hinge all the villains on Batman.
Right.
Batman shows up and so crime is like, oh, a Batman, I must become a Two-Face.
Right.
No, it's just... And
no, they're just weird.
It's just weird, but he goes, let me give you an example of how weird crime is here. There was a guy who was marrying old ladies and then poisoning them. And after the fifth woman we cornered him, and he drank his own poison to kill himself, but he didn't drink enough, so he didn't die. And what he did was he had facial paralysis, and it's frozen in a sadistic, disgusting grin. And he's in jail now. Because he doesn't have fucking superpowers, and he's not magic, he's not forever, he's not enduring, there isn't a Joker forever, it's just, there's a Joker.
Right.
Batman does not fight him. He does not escape from Arkham or do anything.
Establishing that he exists.
He exists. And maybe he goes crazy from his own doings.
Mm-hmm.
Please
but
tell
that's
me
it.
we also have the Penguin.
We don't really... I think there's there is a character that might be the Penguin, but we don't really... There's literally one panel, and that's not even
story's
the thing.
not
Okay.
yeah.
So, then we get...
Is there a Killer Croc?
There is no Killer Croc. I mean, sure there is, but he's not in the story.
Okay.
But no,
He's down in Louisiana.
the only fucking Batman villain we meet that is a villain is the Joker, and it's in that mugshot they took.
Okay.
That is it.
Okay, so this is all new then.
Yeah, Harvey Dent is in it.
Right.
But he
He's
doesn't
not-
become too... Nobody splashes ass in his face. That's it. Just no, because the villain is Jack the Ripper.
Right.
And by the way, it's cool because the story opens with the letter from hell that Ripper wrote, which is actually written by Robert Bloch, but it's like the letter that Jack the Ripper wrote to the tabloids
Okay.
in London to set the stage for you knowing, like, okay, Jack the Ripper's the villain and this is who he is and what he's like.
Yeah.
Then to kind of mirror Batman's inner monologue, which is in notes and journals, we also have the journals of Jack the Ripper, who is now in Gotham, and he's like talking about how he's like looking at these women, and he's talking about her specifically, this woman, and she's always laughing at him. And he's like, soon I'll be able to like to quiet her as well. Like I'm done in London. I had my fun. Now I'm in Gotham, and I'm gonna.
Right.
Hopefully, I'll be able to quiet the laughter in my mind. And you're like, oh shit.
I don't think he's going to be able to quiet the laughter as much.
in a way,
Well,
it does quiet.
Yeah.
So then we see Batman in action, and the idea is that there's some jackasses who are breaking into a safe right here, and Batman like scares the shit out of them and then kicks their ass. The cops show up, and it's great because they're just like, thanks. Because it's
Thanks,
1889. Like, the
Yeah.
dude breaks into a thing and kicks the shit out of some would-be robbers. They're just like, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Someone's helping us, like, keep this city under control.
Oh my god, the crime has been really bad. Thank you, kind stranger.
Yeah, they are scared of him because he is
terrifying.
scary.
Yeah.
But he says, just, if you don't mind my asking, he's quite polite. If you don't mind my asking, what in the devil's name are you?
Just like later.
And he's gone, and he just leaves. And then we see like this montage of Batman kind of cleaning up the streets with these news headlines.
Yeah.
And what's cool is the little like the prostitutes in Gotham being slaughtered like over time.
Is like happening also.
They go from blurbs to headlines, and Batman and Jack the Ripper are kind of like rising through to front page material to the point where it's like, is Batman Jack the Ripper? Like, is Batman killing these women? Like, we're trying to correlate them.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's pretty cool.
Okay.
So then Bruce Wayne throws a party at his place, and he invites Inspector Gordon, and they're talking about Batman. It's like that scene in Dark Knight where the wealthy socialites are like musing about Batman.
Yeah.
The idea is that like the regular people find him scary and don't know what to make of him, and some people think he's a murderer, and some people think that he's just a lunatic. But there's no one who's like, he is great, except for Gordon, who's like, he helped out.
Yeah.
I don't see any problem with him. Whatever.
Is Bruce like, who made the Batman?
No, he did not. No, Bruce is like, interesting. Thank you for the feedback. I'll be sure to note that.
Right. If I was Batman, I'd find that very interesting.
What do you mean feedback?
I just mean, if he were working here, or if I were him, for example, I would find your insight quite enlightening, and I would apply it to my repertoire. Thankfully, because I am not Batman.
Fortunately, I'm
I'm
not
not
Batman, so it's no problem.
It's all hypothetical.
Yeah. Freud's like,
Don't before get out of here, I didn't invite you to this party.
Batman, you say?
I seem to recall having a brilliant student by the name of Bruce Wayne who had a quite alarming dream about Batman.
And it's strange because if you took a W in his last name and you flipped it upside down, it would be a BM. For Batman, not for a bowel movement.
Which is what you just made on the couch right now. So the commissioner's also there, and the commissioner's this fucking mutton chop.
Oh, thank you!
Yes.
Blowhard is like, I find that the two things are correlated, and I'm sure if we were to whip off the mask of the Batman, we would find the face of the killer of the women who live in our series.
That really bristles my whiskers.
Exactly.
Well, how would you know? You don't know what he looks like.
He doesn't, but because it's expedient.
Right. I pictured him like he takes the mask and like, aha! See, he's Jack the Ripper.
I'm sure if we use phrenology and when we measure his cranium, we'll be able to find the lumps of a murderer. Yeah. So anyway,
That's a nice historical reference there.
Thank
too.
you.
Yeah, that was popular at that time.
Yeah, I learned.
It's okay. We can cure him with electroshock.
Yeah. Jack the Ripper kills this woman and and then leaves her there. I don't know.
He's been killing people for this whole time though.
Yeah, but he kills this other woman and
this one matters more
because he uses a surgeon's tool.
Okay.
Or seemingly uses a surgeon's tool, which is Jack the Ripper's MO. And they're like, oh, is it Jack the Ripper? Is Jack the Ripper in Gotham? Is Batman Jack the Ripper? They send some inspectors to Wayne's place because they're asking questions about Jack the Ripper and it's the city and blah blah.
Asking everybody.
They're asking everybody,
asking every
and
person in the city about Jack.
Pretty much. But Inspector Gordon goes to Wayne Manor and they ask Alfred where Bruce Wayne is, and he can't. He's like, I'm afraid he's not here. And
out at this time of night.
Yeah.
How very peculiar.
Yes, and Wayne and Gordon is like, I wonder what he's doing right now at nighttime away. But what's funny is Gordon and Wayne are friends, so he and what you think is the reader, you're like, no, maybe he thinks he's Jack the Ripper.
Right.
But no,
maybe he thinks he's Batman.
he thinks he's Batman.
Right.
And
he doesn't think Batman is Jack the Ripper.
That's right.
Because Batman's helping people.
Exactly.
Right.
It doesn't. If you do any real police work, or if you use any bit of common sense, you're like, why would he help the police and murder whores? It's just like, oh well, I have this. I have two compulsions, and one of them is to help everybody, and the other one is to kill these prostitutes. I'm sorry.
Really, I'm helping everybody because they're spreading venereal disease all around.
Right, you're welcome.
I guess if he was like, really like religious,
yes,
it's like they have to die.
Right, but then he'd have to kill
But
the
also have to
murderers
help
too, or the brigands as well.
Yeah, that's true.
He would kill everyone.
Well, unless he just like really has a problem with women selling their bodies, and not so much with burgers.
Yes, that's.
I feel like I've met people like that.
I hope not.
Not who would murder people, but who
Fair
just
enough.
like
But who
their
don't-
conception of like crimes versus like
they have
moral
weird
failings is like off.
Yeah, and you're like,
Yeah.
that's weird. Let's never talk.
You know what? We can be friends on Facebook.
Yeah, and then I'll unfriend you about a year later.
Yeah.
But I like that it's interesting also because their correlation, the only correlation is Batman showed up around the same time these women are being
just
killed.
unfortunate for Batman that happened at the same time.
Then Jack the Ripper starts sending postcards to Inspector Gordon where he's like, I'm having a great time in Gotham, thanks for having me, I'm killing your whores, it's great. And Gordon's like, damn it. And then what's great is Tolliver shows up in Gordon's office and he's like, great news! We've found the killer! Pack your bags and get your coat because we're going to Wayne Manor. So they send like the whole damn squad over to Wayne Manor, right? They get a tip.
Oh.
And they go to Wayne Manor.
From Alfred.
If you're in jail, maybe you won't be Batman anymore.
Well, if you have a close call, they think you're
Jack the Ripper. Maybe you should stop.
Maybe you should stop.
It is not Alfred. So what's great is so the cops all show up at Wayne Manor, and Bruce Wayne's like, "Oh, good show, good to see you, gentlemen. What seems to be the trouble here?" And they're like, "We think that you are Jack the Ripper." And he's like, "Well, that is preposterous." And he's like, "No,
You have to tell us if you are."
Yeah.
A gentleman would say so.
Exactly. A man of breeding such as yourself would never lie to a state official. So."
No, in these days you get accused of a crime, and if it's true, you say, "Oh, well, very well, you've caught me."
Yeah, so good show. There I go, off to the stocks. But no, so he's like he plays the role of a socialite quite well, and he's like, "Oh well, please have a capital time searching my grounds.
Right.
Knock yourselves out. I'm gonna go have breakfast." And Alfred's like, "Sir, maybe they won't find anything that links you to Jack the Ripper, but perhaps they might find your bat costume." And he's like, no, I've hidden that in a very safe place. And when he says that, you also have a shot of the grandfather clock that in the original continuity he uses to access the Batcave. We never see the Batcave. We don't see him using the clock. We use context clues to indicate that there is a Batcave and they won't find it because it's well hidden.
Right.
Thank you
it's just
for
in the
treating me like an
grandfather clock.
adult. It could be stuffed in the clock. But like, either just he's like, oh, you found my overcoat with an anti-rain cowl.
And not only that, but like it's 2 o'clock, and suddenly they just hear a dull thud. Doosh, doosh. And they're like, I think something's blocking the chime of the clock. No, it's supposed to be that way.
No, it's an old model. So Wayne's sitting there in his breakfast quarters or whatever, and he's just
He's
reading
in the conservatory.
That's it. Thank you. And he's reading this, the morning news, and then everyone shows up and they all have grave faces on. He's like, "Why the long faces? I'm sorry that your pursuits, you've carried no fruit, but there's no reason to be, melancholy about the subject." And they're like, "Bruce, why did you think that we wouldn't find this bloody knife and this bloody handkerchief under your bed?" And he's like, "Oh, well, since that's so obvious and so stupid, there's no way that they will convict me." So they have the trial, and and it's amazing because he has such faith in this system. Where he's like, he goes, "Well, I've been called a monster and a murderous brute about 5 times in District Attorney Harvey Dent's opening deposition. So that's kind of peculiar. I thought we were friends. Why would he do that to me?" What's great is this is Two-Face. He's just got a cool beard.
Okay.
But he doesn't fucking turn into
Maybe
Two-Face.
it's because you're killing people. I thought you were my friend.
That's the thing. I thought you were my friend.
That's awfully Two-Face
Yes,
of
but
you.
he doesn't call him Two-Face. I really appreciate just like it doesn't beat you over the head with it, but it's also overt.
Yeah.
It's just a nice
It's
way
enough for you to get it.
Yeah.
And no more.
So there's like a drunken woman who swears she saw him, but she's a drunk and an idiot, and like no one. And he's like, and no one will believe her testimony anyway because she's a well-known alcoholic. And immediately, like, it's the quickest trial ever, and it's hilarious because Alfred's like, maybe you should tell them like that you're Batman, and that's why you can't account for where you are in the evenings. And he's like, I don't need to do that. All their evidence is circumstantial. And by the way, Uncle Jacob is my defending counsel.
Oh.
Because he went to law school
Okay.
on Thomas Wayne's dime. So he's this counsel, and he's great, and he's careful, and he's like, they have nothing. Like, the evidence they have is circumstantial. There's no way. He's like, Uncle Jake thinks that there's no way, they have no case. He goes, he in fact says, besides, they have no case. And then they use the same panel where he says that on his newspaper headline where it says, Bruce Wayne is Jack the Ripper.
Full picture. Killer.
And so he is immediately convicted. And he goes to Arkham Asylum because he's a dangerous psychopath. And
But they are going to hang him.
oh, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, certainly.
He's not getting the insanity defense where he just
No.
goes in the asylum.
No, well,
for
Commissioner Tolliver really, really wants to get this over with.
Yeah.
So...
Okay, so fucking Tolliver set him up, right?
No.
Oh.
No, Tolliver's just a really bad cop.
Oh, okay.
So, Inspector Gordon goes to visit Wayne. He's like, this is preposterous. There's no way that you could possibly be Jack the Ripper. Because you're Batman. He doesn't say that, though, but he's like, there's no way that you are Jack the Ripper. He goes, but I appreciate you, like, trying to solve your own murder case. And he brings him, because Wayne requests them, and Inspector Gordon's, like, a nice guy. He brings him all the case files on Jack the Ripper. So he's like, I've got to solve the murder of Jack the Ripper. I've got to solve the like Whitehall murders, the Jack the Ripper London case, and the Jack the Ripper London case. I gotta solve 3 police departments.
I have to become the world's greatest detective.
Exactly. He doesn't say that though. While he's in jail, Jack the Ripper, sheathed in shadow, keeps seeing these women, and he's like, soon, like.
Yeah, as soon as Bruce Wayne's dead.
As soon as Bruce Wayne's dead, I
can't kill him again.
I can't kill
Otherwise, I'll let him out.
Well, he's like, exactly. I can't kill right now, but once he's hanged, then I can start killing again. But it's
Then
great.
I'll be a copycat.
Yeah. Well, no. Then it's more like, we fucked and we killed the wrong guy. Oops.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if they knew about copycats at this point.
I don't know. I think they probably did. It's funny because no one implies or suggests that it could be a copycat killer when Jack the Ripper starts killing in Gotham. They're like, oh, naturally, Jack the Ripper hopped a boat and came to this new city and started killing whores again. Like, here's the thing. In London, there ain't no shortage of whores. Like, you can kill whores forever. And if you can fool Scotland Yard...
You gotta watch out, though. They might stab you in the leg.
That's true. Yeah, in Gotham, at least. Shockingly enough, doesn't happen. But, so Bruce basically just drives himself crazy, like, trying to solve the case. He's like, I got nothing! And he starts, like, throwing the papers around. And that's when he comes across his father's Civil War medical detachment photo. And he has this photo of, like, his medical team and their flag.
Okay.
Which, their flag, it's not like the nation's flag, it's his medical flag.
Right.
And the flag that the regiment had was the same insignia on one of the scalpels found at one of the Jack the Ripper murders. Which means that one of these people from my father's Civil War regiment is the murderer.
Oh, it's like a specific...
Yes, it's
specific
their
unit.
logo. It belongs to their team. And
It's
so
not like,
he's
it's not like a Red Cross that everybody uses.
no,
it's like,
no,
oh,
it's for this squad of medical
military
examiners.
insignia
Yes.
for a unit. Yeah.
So he's like, it couldn't have been my father because my father's been dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then he
Oh
realizes,
my god, my father's alive!
and he's Jack the Ripper.
Wait, no.
Wait,
there were
that's
many people in
ridiculous.
that unit.
Hold on a minute. Who else is in the unit? His uncle.
Oh.
So he calls Alfred. He's like, okay, Alfred, I'm going to escape. And Alfred's like, thank God! I can't believe it took you this long! So what happens is Alfred and Bruce switch clothes because Bruce still believes in the system. And he's like, no, I have to prove my innocence, but I can only do it as Batman. So while all the guards are asleep, Alfred and I are going to switch places. Alfred will sit in jail and wait for me to come back, and I will slip out as Alfred.
Alfred's put a lot of trust in him for this.
And then he hops a boat and goes to London.
That's Bruce, I don't have to shave my mustache, do I?
Yeah, I don't recall if he does, but he just waits there because Bruce Wayne solves the whole case
Right.
within the space of the time that Alfred's in jail.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my god, he still has a utility belt.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He's not
Yeah.
Batman with it.
But his cape is also like a kind of combination duster kind of coat, which I really love.
That's cool.
And by the way, before they made Arkham Asylum, the video game, they were working on a Gotham by Gaslight video game. And there is some footage online of the gameplay, and it looks cool.
Why haven't they made it yet?
Because they scrapped that to make
But they
the
had
other
the
thing.
idea. Just
I know.
make that instead of any of the like crappier.
Oh, like Arkham Origins?
Yeah.
I know. But by the way, it looks really cool, and the cape mechanics are gorgeous. For some reason, it's hypnotic how the cape just flows. Anyway, but I was like, you're gonna make a Gotham by Gaslight video game? Cool.
I guess
Okay.
it's good they didn't because that probably wouldn't have sold as well.
No! What a weird idea. Of course you gotta do Arkham Asylum. No, Gotham by Gaslight's like a fever dream like level in one of the Arkham games. Like Scarecrow's like, what if you went back in time, stab? Like that's the idea there, or at least like a mini game.
Why didn't they do that? That's awesome.
I don't know, but it looked awesome, and you can check it out. But anyway, so
Because
Jack's,
then Scarecrow would be Jack the Ripper.
yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
that's fine.
So
I guess.
Jack's gonna kill again. He's about to kill this prostitute, and then Batman appears, and he's like, and by the way, Jack the Ripper's like, oh shit! And it just runs away.
Right? What else is he gonna do?
And Batman just chases him. And when he catches up to him, he goes, run.
Oh shit!
And Jack's like, no, leave me alone. And he's just knocking over carts and trying to get away from him. Jack basically steals a horse-drawn carriage.
Right.
And then tries to run him over. Batman narrowly escapes. And then Batman hops his own horse and then chases down Jack the Ripper on his horses. And we get this really sweet-ass fucking moonlit horse chase scene where Batman's chasing down Jack the Ripper.
He doesn't like paint a quick bat on the side
on the
of
horse's
horse,
face.
Right?
No, he just rides the horse. And then
This is my bat horse buggy.
yeah,
No.
this is my Batmobile. Yeah. So Batman actually winds up kind of leading Jack or chasing him into the graveyard where Thomas and Martha Wayne are buried. And then he says, it's over, you're not going anywhere. Jacob Parker. Like, he knows who he is before he reveals him. And he just, like, throws him around. He's like, I have to know why you killed these women. And he says, I had to shut her up. And he's like, whose laughter did you have to quiet? And he's like, Martha Wayne's. He's not related to these people.
Oh.
He was just a member of Thomas's
uncle,
regiment. His uncle is only a name. Thomas really liked Jacob the way that Bruce liked him. And was like, I want to help you out. So then he got him enrolled in his medical school and paid for it because he had so much money. He's like, fuck it.
Right.
Like, I'm just going to help my friend out. Every man needs a trade. And he was just really bad at it. And he flunked out. And he's like, okay, your medicine's not good for you. That's fine. But he did get skilled with surgeon's blades and such. So that's how we established, because, in fact, the real Jack the Ripper murders were perpetrated by some claim.
Right.
A surgeon or someone with medical expertise, because he was killing with surgical accuracy and such.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry. Does that mean that Jacob was in the regiment,
yeah,
the surgical regiment?
yeah, with Thomas. And
When he was really bad.
when he was really shitty at it, yeah. But eventually he flunks out, and then Thomas enrolls him in law school. And even
Maybe we'll be good at that.
yeah, and he's not, and he graduated bottom of his class, but Tom used his bureaucracy to pull some strings and get him through and get him his practice. And then he wound up funneling clients into Jacob's practice so that he could actually have a career.
Okay.
And Jacob was like, I hated him for basically keeping me up for taking pity on me and for using his money to help me. I wanted something for myself.
Right.
And that something was Martha. Because I fell in love with her.
Oh, jeez.
And when he professed his love to Martha, she laughed at him and rejected him.
Oh.
And so he went fucking crazy and just started killing prostitutes. And before he started killing prostitutes, what he did was like, fuck these people. So he hired a ne'er-do-well to assassinate the Waynes.
Yeah.
Shit! So Jacob's responsible for the death of the Waynes, and then when he killed them, the guy was supposed to kill Bruce Wayne, but the bats scared him away or whatever.
Right.
And so he's like, once Wayne is hanged, then maybe the laughter will stop, because I don't want Wayne to find out and start laughing at me too.
Okay.
It's just, he's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
He's killing
Like,
prostitutes.
kill all trace of her.
Yes, exactly. And so
That's
then,
like seeing someone in their eyes, like, you have your mother's eyes.
Yeah.
Like her.
yeah,
You have your mother's laugh. Which is really weird because you have this deep voice when you laugh. It's very
it's a very high
pitched.
lilt. But then Batman rips off his mask and he's like, I'm not laughing.
Oh.
And then he like immediately, he's like, Bruce, I'm so sorry. Like he actually like realizes it. And he says like, you killed my parents. You killed these women. I should kill you. And he's like, yes, you should. You should kill me. And then Inspector Gordon arrives with the posse. Mm-hmm. And then Batman like steps back in shadow so that his face is hidden. Mm-hmm. But Gordon knows who it is. He doesn't say like, Wayne, come on. You're free. Mm-hmm. But he says like, this is Jack the Ripper. This is the man who killed all these women, and he will answer for his crimes. And he says like, but who are you? And he says, it doesn't matter who I am, but arrest this man because Bruce Wayne is innocent. And then
wait,
Jake,
are you Jack the Ripper?
Yeah.
No, I swear this man is Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, Jake then confesses. He says,
oh.
I am Jack the Ripper. I did kill these women in London, and in fact, I killed a few whores in Paris as well when I was still getting my bearings.
Okay.
And then I framed Wayne. All this blood is on my hands.
See, a gentleman does confess.
Exactly. But then he tries to kill Batman, and he pulls out his blade, and he slashes at Batman, and then he gets assassinated by Gordon.
Okay.
And then Batman says, thank you.
Okay.
And he says, like, why? Like, Batman, please explain everything. Why did he kill his women? He goes, why does a madman do anything? Bye! And then leaves. And before he leaves, he says, I am leaving!
Oh, so this is the polite Batman. So, like,
farewell! And he's like,
You don't just disappear on someone.
No,
you
you
give them notice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, that's very ungentlemanly to leave without denouncing your departure.
Precisely. Well, it's great because, like, he's going to arrest both of them. But then Ripper tries to kill Batman, and then he shoots Ripper.
You get arrested because he's a vigilante. You're not supposed to do that, I guess.
Yeah, basically.
Also, I am leaving because I just got cut.
Yeah, I have to deal with this. Well, first I have
to free Alfred so he can patch me.
Exactly. Well, he says, like,
go sew this up so you won't tell that when I go back in my cell that I'm the same person who was just cutting.
But by the way, we don't see that. The last thing we see is this really awesome image of Batman 1889, like, sitting on a gargoyle, which is very
I'm gonna let
cool.
Alfred stew in it for a while.
Yeah, let Alfred know who's fucking boss. But he
Try
says,
and tell me not to be Batman, will you? I'm gonna leave you in jail overnight.
what's great is he leaves and he says, like, I am leaving, and then one of the attending officers is like, should we chase him? And he goes, I don't think we could catch him. And you know what? I don't think we should try because he's probably really useful. So fuck it.
Yep.
And then that's it. And he goes like, God help us all. I think we might actually even need him.
Wow.
And that implies greater mysteries, greater stories. Maybe we'll see Two-Face and Penguin and Poison Ivy and shit. But who cares? We just did a really cool story that was all by itself, and it doesn't matter. And they did another story, and more of not that. The villain is not Killer Croc or Scarecrow or Joker, which they easily could have done because they asked Brian Augustine to come back, and he did it again, and he just does another story. No, the next one's about Zeppelins.
That's cool.
Which is still cool.
Yes.
And manages to do an iconic moment from Zeppelin history.
Oh, I wonder which one it was.
Oh my god! And
probably when the Graf Zeppelin was launched.
Yeah, probably that one. Whap! So there you have it, folks. Batman Gotham by Gaslight. I love the story, and if they do a good job with the animated, there's no way that they should be able to screw up an animated version of this because it's so self-contained and original. Yeah. But they screwed up Killing Joke, so anything's possible.
Well, hopefully the voice is right too.
Yeah, that's true. And they could do anybody. I don't need Kevin Conroy. It could be anybody. But
well, anybody?
No.
Anyone that sounds good.
Right. Yeah. It can't be like...
If you get anybody...
Yeah. Then
that can ruin
that can hurt
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will put a link in the description box below this video for you to pick up a copy. I don't know if it's going to be this one, where it's just the 2 Batman Gotham by Gaslight stories, or if it's like that full thing that has every Elseworlds Batman story ever written, which is how they get you. Spend $35 on all of them,
Yeah.
so you can read a 50-page story. You can be like, cool, I'll just not rip the cover by trying to read these few pages of it. No, this is how it was and how it should be. This is how comics should be.
Yeah.
It's a self-contained story. This says both of them, but it's a self-contained story that is released all at once, and you can get it for a really small amount of money.
Well, it should be like $5.
It should be $5. This particular copy is $13.
All right. That's really accessible.
It is accessible because it's got both of them, so you're paying for 2.
All right,
Even
pay for 2,
still, but like it should be. But like when
you
they
don't need to know anything.
yeah, but I mean when they first released it, like in 1991, when they were like, here, no fanfare, no bullshit,
Right.
they just
It's
put it
just a
out,
story.
just came out, and people were like, oh. And here's the thing, you have every method to promote it. And the best ways are by releasing it and letting word of mouth take it.
But
You know?
then
If
how
it's
will we
good.
say, like, the first weekend of sales, like, skyrocket?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It
Well,
doesn't
how-
matter over time.
How will
I
we
care
sell
about
terrible
that first
books
time.
that way?
Yeah, that's true. If we release books that we don't care about and put no effort in, and then people just don't buy them or buy them and talk about how terrible they are, then how will we get everyone to buy it?
Yeah.
Exactly. No, that's a
Yeah.
good point. I guess the only recourse we have is to have quality control.
Oh, no. I say we just hype everything.
Ooh, that's
up.
a good idea.
Just
That's
hype
way
it up
better.
and make sure you sell as many as you can the first day before anyone finds out.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, you know what we should do? We should.
That's way easier.
And we'll reach out to like Entertainment Weekly and USA Today and just spoil it and let them try and get them out there. There you have it, everybody. We'll see you guys next week with another episode of Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Ben.
And I'm leaving!
Thank God. Jeez, I thought he'd never leave.
I know. Now we can...
Fuck you guys!